Hey my friends, I'm so glad that you're here with me for the July 2023 Core Challenge and that you've decided to dedicate this time to attend to your body, to move, to play, and to reclaim power in any way that supports you. So for today, you can grab a blanket for underneath your knees if you have tender knees in this position, and a block if you like extra support underneath your hands. And let's meet facing the front of the mat on our knees. So this is where a blanket might come in handy. We'll start with a little bit of alignment detail that we can come back to during this practice. So if you can locate your pubic bone at the front, which actually has two parts, and then just above the rim of the back of your pelvis, where your low back begins and your pelvis starts there, that point to the front point, imagine that there's a cord going in between those 2 points, and then it's shortening. So that might mean your pubis kind of comes up a bit and your low back draws in towards center. So whatever you feel there, this is an alignment that we'll call for today shortening the cord. And see if you can maintain that, maybe even with a little bit of a wrapping of the front of your pelvis in towards center at the front. So it's wide through the back and a little deeper in the front. So finding that, and you might close your eyes and connect to your breathing here in this long line in your plumb line. And you might consider one thing that you'd like to practice for today. Could be yourself, could be the land that you're on, it could be a person, it could be being of service to something. And then as you open your eyes, we can start with a bit of upper back twist. So you can swing your arms, maybe even look over your top shoulder, and try to keep your hips fairly steady, fairly still with that alignment of shortening the cord, pubic bone to low back, feeling a little cinching, a little support through your midline there for 5, with your breath if you like, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming into center, and you can start to circle your arms in a big back stroke. And can you do this with a fairly steady torso? So you're not overly back bending your spine or taking your head forwards for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then switching directions, a big front stroke there with some containment at the front of your abdomen for 5 with your breath. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let your hands find the earth for a cat-cow. And as you arch into your cow, shift forward so you're getting a stretch through your wrists. And then when you curl into your cat, shift back hips to heels. And you can go forwards and back like that, lurching forwards on the inhale and rounding back on the exhale for 5. You can go at your own pace here with your breath for 4, for 3, for 2. Big thanks to Movement Parallels Life for the inspiration for this warm-up, and 1. And shifting forwards into a tabletop, back into a down dog. Pedal out your feet, and can you find that shorten the cord alignment? Pubic bone to low back, cinching together, narrowing through the front of the pelvis, widening through the back of the pelvis. And then walk your hands towards your feet. If you can here, come up, interlock your hands behind your back, reach up a bit, squeeze your shoulder blades together, forward fold. Release your hands, walk it back out into a down dog, and then into an angry cat plank. Roll over your tippy toes. You can take your knees down here or not, and come into a toe tucked up dog. Tuck your chin, lift the space in between your shoulder blades, and go back into a down dog and walk your hands back towards your feet. So nice. Come up a little bit, interlock your hands, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and forward fold. Hands to the earth. Walk it forwards. Find that angry cat plank, big space in between the shoulder blades. Roll through to your toe tucked up dog. You can be on your knees there. Lift the space in between your shoulder blades, full shoulder protraction. Walk your hands back to your feet. Come up a little bit, interlock. Squeeze shoulder blades together and forward fold. You can have your knees quite bent for an extra breath. Walk it forwards into your down dog this time. Hips up and back. Breathing. And then walking your feet this time towards your hands. Come up halfway. Lengthen, fold in, let your head hang. Hook your thumbs in front, reach up and back. Perhaps you open your top chest here, but keep your abdomen toned. Bend your knees, hands behind you, interlock, come up halfway, forward fold, dangle in. Hands to the floor, right foot back into a long lunge, right knee down, come up into a low lunge, arms up, and then exhale to a down dog. Inhale here through your angry cat plank. Knees and chest find the floor, tuck tail and squeeze shoulders together. Roll through to a cobra. You can lift your hands to strengthen your back. And then up from below your navel into a downward facing dog. It's your right foot that comes forwards. Left knee down, come up to your high, low crescent. And then step your left foot to your right foot for a forward fold. Come all the way up. Hook your thumbs. You can open your upper back like you're going over high bar out your ribs, upper ribs, and fold forwards. Interlock your hands. Breathe in, come up halfway. Breathe out and fold. This time take your left foot back first. Left knee down, arms up. Sink your hips, rise your ribs. And then hands to the floor. Step back to your down dog. Roll through an angry cat plank. Knees and chest to the earth. Tuck tail, squeeze shoulders. Roll through to a cobra. Let your hands come off the floor. Place them again. Lift from below your belly button to a down dog. Left foot forwards, right knee down, come on up. And then step your right foot towards your left foot for a forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. You can hook thumbs, open your upper ribs. Exhale, fold forwards, hands behind. Interlock your fingers, breathe in a little bit. Breathe out and fold. This time both hands to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step back to a plank and find your alignment in plank. You can come to your knees here. And this is where I'll invite you to come into a 2-minute plank. So we might do some things to keep it interesting. But see where your alignment is. So if your hips are too low or too high, try to center them to the best of your ability and then cinch that pubic bone to low back cord. Engage your legs, tighten around your kneecaps. You can always take your knees down and rest and then come out of this and come back in anytime you need to. We're already 30 seconds in. So to make it more interesting, you might roll onto the left edges of your feet and then come back to center. Roll to the right edges of your feet, come back to center. You might roll to the left edges and then reach your right arm over your ear, like a little side plank variation, back to center, and switch over the other side. And then come back to center. Another one you can do here is lift one leg and then open it out to the side and squeeze it into center, maybe even cross your ankles and release that. Open your other leg out to the side, squeeze it into center, cross your ankles, come back to center. I love that one, so I'm gonna do it a couple of times. You can come to any of the previous ones we've been working on. Try to keep that space in between your shoulder blades a little broad. Beautiful, one more time here for me. Playing with it, feel free to come to your knees. Beautiful. You can come into the center, and if you like, open one arm up without coming onto the edges of your feet, but stay on your toes. And see if you can get a little twist there. through your upper back. For 10 more seconds. Play with any variations you like. You could even take one knee towards elbow and switch. You could have come into a child's form or a down dog. And then up and back here to downward facing dog. Come down to your knees. Shift your hips back to your heels. Stack your hands and take a breath in. Take a breath out. Beautiful.